I am very happy to be here, and I've been here since Sunday. I am from St. Anne's Parish. This is my home parish, and I try to come to the Novena every year. And I know, usually about May, I start thinking, okay, July 18th, the 26th, clear the calendar, the Novena. But this year, I had a relative who got married in Vancouver on the 17th, and I had to go to the wedding, and I remember hearing this, and I was like, oh, I'm going to miss some of the Novena. But I made it. So I want to thank Father Ehring for inviting me to come to preach tonight. He chose the best preachers for the last, for the end, right? And so I'm looking forward to Bishop Lobsinger's homily tomorrow, so that'll be good. The main theme of this homily is I want to talk about salvation. Salvation, a gift from Jesus. And I believe I received this gift from Jesus. And that's why I love Jesus. And this gift is like a path, and you have to walk it, a pilgrimage. And so salvation every day, things to do, to pray, good deeds. And I know, because I'm a weak man, I can lose it, right? One mortal sin and I can lose salvation. And I know if I do fall, I can repent and come back. But I'm trying not to sin. I'm trying to be better. And that's what the love of Jesus does. It motivates you for more. Now, this place, this church, and this school is very special to me because this is where I was introduced to Jesus. Right? So I was baptized at that font, the baptismal font, by Monsignor McColgan 52 years ago. I did my first communion, and I sat about the 5th row, just over there. I had my first confession in that confessional, and I did my confirmation here. And so I don't know if you've experienced this at your church, but when the teenagers are doing confirmation, they have to attend on Sunday and check in and do the programs. And then sometimes, as soon as they get their confirmation, they disappear. They're gone. I was one of those kids, one of those teenagers. So after my confirmation, I floated away from the faith. I stopped practicing. My family wasn't heavily practicing either. So for age 13 to age 24, I was let loose. But I had a conversion experience. I had a mystical experience where God became present in my life, and I remember thinking, I need to go back to church. I got to go back. And so where was I going to go back? Well, of course I'm coming back home to St. Anne's, right? And so I remember January 1st, 1996, my New Year's resolution, go back to Mass. And I want you to know that I was scared, because I had been away from the church for like 11 years, 12 years. I didn't know anybody. None of my friends wanted to come with me, so I was coming here by myself. And I sat on this side, and I was nervous the entire Mass, because I kept thinking, somebody's going to kick me out, because, who are you? Where you been? And so I remember that first Mass. It was the Feast of the Mary, Mother of God, January 1st. And Father Leo Burns was the administrator then. And he was exiting at the end of Mass, and he saw me. He goes, "Hey, Joe, nice to meet you. Good to see you." Right? He shook my hand. It made me feel welcome, and it was like a sign. Okay, I'm back. And so that summer of '96 was the first novena that I attended. Now I knew something went on in the summers here at St. Anne's, but that 1996 summer was the first time. Okay, I'm going to do this whole novena. And my intention was, Lord, give me an increase of faith. I want more faith. Well, it worked. It worked. And so after that novena, I started learning my faith and eventually, trying out different vocations, and I eventually got married here, became a permanent deacon, and so today I work for the diocese, and I work in the marriage tribunal. And Jesus has been good to me. Jesus has been so generous to me. So this church, this place is special because my path to salvation zigzags into this parish, right? This place. And then every summer from July 18th to the 26th, our paths cross, right? We're here together. And so I see a lot of faces that have been coming for the last 30 years, right? And so I see you. And then there's new people here too, and it's exciting. And so that first novena, I asked for more faith. And what I kept getting was more. Now, my favorite saint is Saint Ignatius of Loyola. And part of his spirituality was looking for the magis. Now, magis is Latin for more. What is the more you can do for Christ? What is the more you can ask for? And that motivated me. That motivates me. I want more. I just don't want to be a simple deacon. I want to be more. And looking at today's gospel, right? The mother of St. James and St. John goes to Jesus and asks, hey, put these boys beside you in the kingdom of heaven, right? She's asking, she wants more for her sons. She wants more. So that's bold. And so no wonder the other apostles got jealous, right? Who was intervening for them for more? It was their mother. So imagine this. Like, close your eyes and think about this, right? Here we are at St. Anne's Parish. St. Anne's parish, right? Spiritually, she's looking over for us. Doesn't she turn to Jesus and say, hey, look at my people. Give them what they want. These people are honoring me. Give them what they want. Give them their intentions, right? So we have the grandmother and the mother of Jesus, on our behalf, telling Jesus, give them the more. And so you're here, and I'm sure you've put your petitions in the box. You have your own petitions within your heart. So you're asking for more. I think the very fact that you're here, and if you've been here for all 9 nights, you wanted something more, right? Because there's a lot of things you can do on an evening, but to dedicate 9 straight nights, you want something more from Jesus, or more faith, whatever that you're asking for. So this is, the gift of the novena, the chance to ask for more, right? Now, one thing, as I was preparing for this homily, was thinking, what is the effect of this novena on you? Now, this is a question I will never know unless I see you next year and you tell me. But when I end the novena, that next day, after the 9th night, the Feast of St. Anne, I usually wake up and I'm saying my morning prayer and I think, okay, what happened this week? What happened in these last 9 days? What graces did I receive, right? And I'm able to, yes, I saw these people, I talked to these people, these intentions, and I always feel stronger, right? And so my, little homework for you that's due next year is this Saturday morning, after the novena concludes, think about, what more did you receive? Right? What did you receive from this novena? And the second question would be, what more do you want? What more do you want? Right? So yes, the novena ends after the Feast of St. Anne, but our life keeps going. That path to salvation, we keep walking it, and there's more, and we want more. And Jesus is all too generous to give us more faith, more goodness. And so that is your homework. Very simple. And so I hope to see you next year where you can come back and share, what was the fruit, right? What was the fruit that you got from this novena? So I want to share you a short story about a fruit that I heard from a novena. Now, I can't remember the year. It had to be maybe 96 or 97. But what happened was I met this couple, and we were talking, and this couple was talking about they were struggling conceiving a child, and it was getting tough, and so they came to the novena, to ask St. Anne to send them a child. Wonderful. So the following year, don't they show up with a baby? Right? Prayers answered. And I remember, hey, Joe, remember us? Yeah, we got the baby. They had a baby. And so this novena works. It works. It's worked for me. It'll work for you. And it's working for the people that we're praying for, right? And so I'm sure there's a lot of grandmothers here, a lot of mothers praying for their children to convert, to come back to the Mass. Don't give up. Keep praying for that. If you don't get it this year, you will get it, but maybe it's not yet, because it works. And I remember the last story. When I came back to church, to St. Anne's, there was a parishioner, Dorothy de la Harpe. Like, who remembers Dorothy de la Harpe, right? Wonderful lady. And I kind of shared my story, I wasn't practicing my faith, and I felt I wanted to come back. And she said, "Oh, Joe, somebody must have been praying for you." That stopped me in my tracks because I don't know anybody who's praying for me. Like my parents and cousins and relatives, they're not known for prayers. And so it had to be the prayers of the novena. All those prayers, people that pray for the conversion of sinners. It works, but we have to keep at it. And so I'm a witness, an example of, the fruit of prayer. And so I ask you, let this novena be a jumping board for your prayers for the world and for the more. The more for the world and the more for you. God bless.